Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So good to have you here. If you've never been to my channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Stefani and I come out with vegan, lifestyle, and recipe videos. So I was actually looking through my videos trying to come up with something to share with you guys, and I realized that it's been a long time since I did a meal prep video, and I love meal prepping. I do it all the time. I actually have quite a few of these sort of videos on my channel and you guys seem to really enjoy them, and I totally get it. Like, it is so easy to just prep out a bunch of lunches and have them ready to grab and go during your work week, or I know a lot of you guys are starting up school, so a lot of you are busy and don't have a whole lot of time to scout out a healthy vegan plant-based lunch. My main goal with this vegan meal prep lunch ideas was that they were extremely easy to throw together, didn't take a lot of ingredients or time, and of course tasted really good and were very healthy. So with that being said, I came up with 3 different vegan lunch ideas that I hope that you guys enjoy, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss out on any of my videos. Yes, I think I about covered everything, so I'm gonna head into the kitchen and share with you how I made these 3 vegan lunches. Alright, so for this first easy vegan lunch, I prepared a mashed white bean and avocado sandwich, which is loaded with plant-based protein, and it could not be any easier to make. All you'll need for this is obviously beans, and I'm using white cannellini beans, some salt and garlic powder, some horseradish, and some Dijon mustard. I began by opening up my can of beans and pouring them into a strainer and rinsing the liquid off of them with cold water. Once they were rinsed and drained well, I put them into a bowl and started mashing them up. You can use a fork to do this, but I found that using a whisk works really well, and so I mashed them up until they were still a little textured but able to be spread. I added in a few shakes of salt and garlic to taste, and then it's optional, but I added in a small amount of Dijon mustard and horseradish to give this a peppery, zesty kick. Giving it a quick toss, it was time to build my sandwich, and I decided to go with this sourdough rye bread. Use whatever you have on hand or prefer, but if you want to give this bread a go, it will not disappoint in this recipe. It was just so good. I simply pressed the bean mixture into one half of my sandwich, and then on the other side I added some vegan mayo by a brand called Vegenaise and a bit more mustard since I seriously live for this stuff. So for veggies, I went with some fresh green spinach, some ripe avocado slices, and some juicy sliced tomato. And there you have it, a super delicious and fast vegan sandwich loaded with plant-based protein to keep you full and ready to take on the rest of your day. For the second vegan lunch idea, I went with these super simple quinoa veggie sushi rolls. I decided to use quinoa instead of rice for this because quinoa is a complete plant protein, which makes it more nutritionally dense than just regular white sushi rice. You kind of get a little bit more bang for your buck with this little grain. To begin, I measured out some quinoa and stuck it in my rice cooker along with twice the amount of water. Then this is totally optional, but when the quinoa was done cooking, I added in a very small splash of rice vinegar to give a little sushi-like flavor to the quinoa. Now to build the sushi, you'll need some dried nori seaweed, which you can find pretty much at any Asian food aisle at the supermarket. And I don't have a sushi rolling mat, but if you lay down a towel with a piece of plastic wrap over it, this will work just fine for rolling up your sushi. To do this, I laid down one of my seaweed wraps with the textured side sticking up, which will help grab the quinoa and hold it in place. Then I scooped out some of my quinoa onto my seaweed and spread it out until a thin layer was covering the wrap, but make sure to leave about an inch uncovered at the end of the wrap to seal it when you roll it. I also found that pressing down and compacting the quinoa with the palm of my hand made this much easier to wrap. After that, I went ahead and laid down some carrot ribbons and avocado slices for the filling, and then I wetted the inch or so of exposed seaweed with a few drops of water to seal it up. Then I used the plastic wrap to lift up and roll my sushi until it was nice and tight and ready to be sliced. I found that with slicing sushi, it's best to wet your knife in between each slice and not to cut them too thin. The nori is quite delicate and susceptible to breaking and unraveling, so just be really careful when cutting it up. Okay, so once my rolls were all sliced up, I laid them down into a plastic container and dressed them with a little drop of sriracha for added flavor, and then added some pickled ginger and wasabi on the side. These are also super good dipped into soy or coconut aminos, soy sauce, hoisin, or any sauces of your choice. Okay, this next and final recipe is probably my favorite out of all of them, which is the savory roasted cauliflower and chickpea salad. For this recipe, you'll need a head of cauliflower, a can of chickpeas, some pitted green olives, and I suggest these ones right here called Castelveltrano because they're not overly salty, some olive oil, some cilantro, or you can omit this if you hate cilantro, a lemon, some nutritional yeast, some salt, and finally some chili and garlic powder. To begin, I chopped, rinsed, and dried my cauliflower. After adding it into a bake-safe dish, I took my olives and I cut them up since they weren't already pre-sliced, then added them into the dish along with my can of rinsed and well-drained chickpeas. I realized after adding these things that my dish wasn't quite large enough, so right about here I did a little switcheroo and moved all of this into a bigger dish and then drizzled it with some olive oil. Then I simply added a few shakes of salt, garlic, chili, and finally a good helping of nutritional yeast. I gave that a stir and popped that into my oven on 375 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour. I like these well roasted, so make sure to check on it to get your desired amount of golden brown. To finish this recipe off, I squeezed the juice of a lemon over the top and added in a big handful of fresh chopped cilantro, and that completed this super filling, quick and easy lunch recipe. So simple and so good. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick and easy vegan lunch prep, and if you end up making any of these recipes, don't forget to tag me on a picture on Instagram and you will have totally made my day. I hope this gives you some inspiration, and I will see you guys on my next video. Take care and I love you all. Bye!